Hello friends, this is Dr. Smita, Jain, Professor, Applied Sciences, SIRT Excellence, Bhopal. The most important thing in communication is to hear what is not being said. Yes, we all know communication is the transfer of information from one person to another. Most of us spend 75% of our waking hours communicating our knowledge, thoughts, and ideas to others. However, most of us fail to realize that a great deal of our communication is in non-verbal form. Non-verbal communication is communication without the use of written or spoken words. Non-verbal communication includes body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, interpersonal distance, and so on. Non-verbal messages reveals our emotions and attitudes. When words and action contradict each other, we tend to distrust the words and subconsciously rely on non-verbal clues. There are many ways in which we can define non-verbal communication. I have tried to cover all of them. Number one is kinesis. Kinesis is the articulation of the body or movement resulting from muscular and skeletal shift. It is the study of the body's physical movements. This includes all actions. Communication is possible just by nodding head, blinking eyes, waving your heads, making physical movements throughout our body. Kinesis can be studied under three heads. Facial expressions. The face seems to be the most obvious component of body language, but it is certainly the most confusing and difficult to understand. A popular saying goes like this: the face is the index of the heart. Whatever we feel deep within ourselves, it at once reflected on the face. Facial expressions are like sentences in human language. They are infinite in variety. For example, the facial expressions are generally associated with emotions such as happiness, surprise, fear, anger, sadness, and so on. Then posture. The posture involves the movement of the whole body. There are certain type of postures that convey inclusion or exclusion. One can place his or her body in a way that will include or exclude an individual from conversation. It may generally communicate involvement or withdrawal, superiority or inferiority, feeling of unresponsiveness. Posture is indicative of attention, involvement, relative status between person, and the degree to which another person is liked or disliked. Posture can also reveal the intensity of emotional state and is almost always studied in conjunction with other kinds of non-verbal communication behavior. Then, gestures. In addition to face and body movements, we refer some slight movements of a body. These slight movements of a body are known as gestures. For example, a wave of the hand had a specific and intentional meaning, such as hello or a goodbye. Most of us, when talking, use our hands and face to help us to describe an event or an object, a powerful non-verbal aid. Gesture makes a large portion of a message. Ideally, A person's gesture should flow with vocal channel so as to enhance the content. Oculesics. The movement of eyes during communication is known as oculesics. Eye contact is a direct and powerful form of non-verbal communication. This may include eye contact or the avoidance of eye contact. Eye contact is of great importance in oral communication, especially face to face communication. The direct stare of the sender of a message conveys openness. It elicits a feeling of trust. Downward glances are generally associated with modesty. Eyes rolled upward are associated with fatigue. The eyes, along with the eyebrows, eyelids, and the movement of eyeballs, convey our innermost feelings. Eyebrows and eyelids raised and combined with dilated pupils tells us that the person is excited, surprised, and frightened. There is an old saying, eyes are your windows to the world. Yes, credibility is depends upon your eye contact at the time of communication. Haptics. Haptics or touch is an important form of communication for human beings. Touch can convey many factors such as intentions, feelings, both positive and negative, respect, and so on. In interpreting touch, you need to consider when, where, and how the touch is used. In business situations, touching suggests dominance. In other words, a person of higher status is more likely to touch a person of lower status. The fact that touch is an important way to convey warmth, comfort, and reassurance cannot be ignored. Proximix. Proximix is the study of the nature, degree, and the effect of the spatial separation individual naturally maintains at the time of communication. It defines reasons around people and acceptable social behavior in those zones. Space, distance, and territory are factors related to proximic communication. Space is defined as the distance a person maintains between him or herself and his or her fellows, and which he or she builds around him or her in his or her home and office. The ways in which a person uses space may be very significant to communication. A fascinating area in the non-verbal world of body language is that of spatial relationships. Spatial relationship and territorial boundaries directly influence our daily encounters. Maintaining control over such space is a key factor in personal satisfaction. Observing spatial interactions in everyday life is a key to personal awareness. Appearance and accessories. The first impression is the last impression is an old saying and correct when non-verbal communication is concerned, because personal appearance is the first thing which other person observes and is based on the appearance. Personal physical appearance usually provides the first available data about a stranger. Right or wrong, people make inferences based on this superficial data. People can change their appearance by changing their clothes styles, hairstyles, and other accessories. This channel of non-verbal communication confirms a meaning that is transmitted by physical characteristics of the body, attire, and accessories. The three physical characteristics of the body include facial shape, height, skin, body odor, hair cannot be changed, but attire refers to clothing and accessories which are supporting a physical appearance in the society. It is difficult to change the physical characteristics, or we can say it is impossible to change the physical characteristics, but we can enhance our appeal by using appropriate clothing and suitable accessories. Voice and tone. When we speak, voice reveals a gender, age, geographic background, level of education, native birth, emotional state, and a relationship with the person being spoken to. All these clues are contained in small fragments of speech, and other people can read a voice with remarkable accuracy. When we speak, we encode important information about ourselves. When we listen to others, we can decode important information about them. In a general sense, tone is the attitude of the speaker as revealed in the choice of vocabulary or the intonation of the speech. This attitude might be immediately apparent. For instance, in tone of voice, it might, on the other hand, be a complex and subtle manner, which takes time to establish. For instance, is an extended piece of writing. Tone, taken in its most literal meaning, is a feature of nonverbal communication. It is the physical level at which the sound of the human voice is transmitted. Tone is used to convey an attitude. This may be done consciously and unconsciously. It could be said that there is no such thing as a text or verbal utterance without a tone. In most cases, tone is either taken for granted or perceived unconsciously. This also includes the pitch of the voice. Chronomix. Chronomix refers to the use of time as a message system, including punctuality, amount of time spent with another, and waiting time. The way we use time provides a number of silent messages. Coming on time or a little earlier to office not only reveals your interest, sincerity, and serious attitude towards work, but also creates a good impression in the mind of your boss. The amount of time we spend on a task or with a problem is also good indication of how much importance we give it. However, it is important to remember that the rules and customs about time vary widely from one culture to another. If the personal relationship is not established by taking time for dialogue and discussion, there will be no business relationship. Sign language. Sign language involves use of audio and visual signals. A visual aid is an illustration in tabular, graphic, or pictorial form. Visual aids helps to get the message across more effectively by making the message insetting, clarifying, and simplifying the topics. By highlighting the important points, visual signals such as posters, drawings, cartoons, photographs, caricatures are used to convey message for general information and education. Maps and diagrams are used in the books of science, history, geography, etc. Lights on the top of ambulance, VIP vehicles, and neon signals are useful means of communication. Traffic lights and lights at railway station Airports and hospitals convey relevant information to people. Long time back, drum beating was used to make important announcements and to tell the people to assemble at a specified place. Several types of alarms, signals are used to caution people. Fire alarm, accident alarm, VIP, motorcade alarm, machine breakdown alarm are some examples of audio signals. Buzzers, bells, and other sound signaling systems are used in offices. These signs and symbols convey the message very quickly. The working and the time of the educational institute are managed by the audio signals. Nonverbal communication is a very vast topic which cannot be covered in few minutes, but I hope I'm able to manage the outline of nonverbal communication. We'll be discussing in detail in my next video. So be in touch and be safe. Thank you.